Wheat. I would like to talk about wheat and if wheat is healthy for you. Most of the wheat today grown is genetically modified in such a way that it becomes a super wheat carbohydrate, which is not fit for human consumption. Reason being is that wheat products, even the really healthy ones like the sprouted grain wheat, believe it or not, are highly addictive. And what happens is they will spike your blood sugar, which causes insulin spikes, which then creates a whole host of inflammatory response in your body, which can then lead to many of degenerative diseases like arthritis, acne, IBS, dementia, heart disease, and on and on and on. And wheat is one of those foods, because of the fact that it raises your blood sugar, which creates insulin spikes, can lead to visceral fat or belly fat. So a lot of people that eliminate wheat from their diet will notice a reduction in fat over a period of maybe 3 to 4 weeks. Sometimes as soon as 4 days, you'll notice that you are losing a couple pounds. Many people get relief from their pain in their joints or arthritis type symptoms when removing wheat. Other people notice a reduction in skin breakouts by removing wheat. Other people notice a humongous improvement in IBS or Crohn's disease, irritable bowel syndrome. A lot of people have a lot of digestive issues and going to the bathroom issues. And wheat can often contribute many times to those problems, and simply eliminating the wheat out of your diet can resolve a lot of those issues for you. So, basically, at the end of the day, if you're consuming all this wheat, you're raising your blood sugar, you're creating insulin spikes, and then, about 20 minutes later, your blood sugar crashes, you feel tired, lethargic, confused. If you feel like that after eating toast or sandwiches, you really should try to avoid that. So essentially, if you want to take your health to the next level, getting rid of wheat would be a very good thing to do. I myself am trying to avoid wheat. Even if you don't have a gluten intolerance, most people, and virtually all people, will be much healthier overall if they eliminate wheat from their diet. It isn't really that hard to do. And of course, you can eat a lot of the non-wheat grains like quinoa, millet, amaranth, oats. These are much better for you. Causes less raises in blood sugar, and just overall is not hybridized as much as the wheat is today. So it is something that most people can do. But yeah, the wheat today is not like the wheat that our ancestors had. Very different, because it's mass produced on a large scale, and it is not fit for human consumption. Another thing is that wheat can cause you to become more hungry, and it's addictive. That's because wheat has this special protein that I read called gliadin, which causes the same addictive behavior that opium causes on your brain receptors. That's right. So it's actually causing you to it's stimulating your appetite. So the more wheat you eat, the more hungry you feel, and of course, you see how that can lead to excess calories, excess blood sugar, insulin spikes, and then you're starting to gain more weight. So the simple solution is just simply to avoid the wheat products. And at first, you might get some withdrawal symptoms, but once you're through that, it'll be easy sailing for the rest of the way. And then, of course, you can switch that wheat to non-gluten breads. But many times you have to avoid a lot of these processed gluten-free products because many of the ingredients that they add into it can oftentimes create even higher blood sugar levels than the wheat does. So just because something's gluten-free and it's not made with wheat doesn't automatically put it into the category of healthy. So that's why you have to read the labels, you have to research, you have to find out what's good, what's not. But, essentially, if you could follow the rule, don't eat any breads, which might be very hard for some people because some people love bread. But if you don't eat any bread and you just eat like brown rice, popcorn, things like that, you're avoiding wheat altogether, which is excellent. And of course, your blood sugar is going to be a lot more stable throughout the day. And of course, you're not going to gain all this weight either that many of us simply do not want to have. We don't want more weight on us. Wheat has also been shown to be an aggravator of androgenic alopecia, or AGA, male pattern baldness, simply because of, again, it creating and raising blood sugar levels, which create insulin spikes, which create an inflammatory response. Now, it's been shown in cultures such as Asia, where they don't eat large amounts of wheat or fat at all, have lower blood sugar levels and less incidence of androgenic alopecia, or male pattern baldness, simply because of their diet. But when you come over to the West, in America, and you're consuming a lot of wheat and dairy and things like that, it's creating a lot of inflammation, which can aggravate, or in other words, speed up the process of androgenic alopecia. And so, simply avoiding wheat will reduce inflammation, which has been implicated and been connected to the advancement and the acceleration of male pattern baldness. So, simple solution is, even for those who are losing their hair, who want to prevent losing their hair and slowing down the process of losing their hair, it would behoove you and would be using good wisdom perhaps to avoid the wheat. So with that, I hope that I've given a good case against consuming wheat. I think most people will agree with me in this video about this. And let me just make one point straight, and that is, it's this daily consumption of wheat and breads on an ongoing basis at, lunch, dinner, morning. It's this ongoing process of the same foods over and over and over and over. Okay, those foods are addictive. The wheat is addictive. And, it's this day in, day out approach of how wheat can actually become very troublesome for you and keep you from reaching a more healthful state in your body. So, essentially, if somebody avoids wheat for, say, months, and then has one slice of sprouted grain wheat bread, it surely is not going to do much harm to you, but it could easily get you back into the repetitive pattern of eating it day in, day out, day in, and day out. But if you're having it once in a while, it surely is not going to do many of the things that wheat could do to you, just simply because it's not a very health-promoting food. So, choose healthier, non-wheat whole grains, avoid wheat, and with that, I'll see you guys later. Bye.